This lesson is going to talk about finding the perimeter of a rectangle or square. And let's start by looking at the word perimeter. So the word perimeter, if we break it apart, the root peri means around, and the word part meter, oops, that's thick. The word part meter means to measure. And so the word perimeter means to measure around. So we're measuring around a rectangle. We're measuring around a square. So if we look at this rectangle up here, the perimeter would be going around this green side plus this side. We're measuring around the outside of this figure. Measuring this side, we're just traveling around the outside of the figure. Okay, so that would be the perimeter. The last lesson we talked about measuring the area. Remember, area is the inside space of the figure. We were seeing how many little squares we could cover the inside space with. But today we're moving on to perimeter. So we're measuring around the outside of the shape, measuring around. So I like how this graphic down here looks at this. So if we were to take this length and this length, okay, and stretch it out, that would be like putting it down here on this diagram. There's that first length. Here's the second length. And then if we took the width, there's that width, that width, and added it on, width plus width, that would give us the perimeter of the rectangle. So it's like taking the length plus the width plus the length plus the width, and that would give us its perimeter. So let's look at this in practice with a couple of different squares and rectangles. In looking at this rectangle, if our length is 15 meters and our width is 8 meters, well, we can use what we know about rectangles, that opposite sides are equal in length. So if that side is 15 meters, this side will be 15 meters. And if this side is 8 meters, then this side will be 8 meters. And so when we're finding the measure around the shape, we would simply have to add 15 plus 8 plus 15 plus 8. So you could simply say, I know that 15 plus 15 is 30, and I know 8 plus 8 is 16. So 30 plus 16 would give me 46 meters. Another way to think about it is saying, okay, I know that the length plus the width, 15 plus 8, would give me half of the perimeter, right? This would be halfway around. So that would give me 23. So if that gives me half of it, if I multiply 23 times 2, that should give me the full perimeter, so 46 meters. So there's two ways of looking at it. Now let's look at a square. Let's say we had to find the perimeter for this square, and they only give us the measurement of one side. Can we find the perimeter of a square? We sure can, because we know that a square has 4 sides equal in length. So each of these sides would be measuring at 4 centimeters. So you could add 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and that would give us the perimeter or the measurement around this square. Or you could say 4 times 4, because I know the measurement of one side is 4, and there are 4 sides of this measure. So we would have 16 centimeters as the perimeter. Let's look at another problem type. This will come into play when you are given the perimeter and one side length, and you are asked to find the other side length. So in this case, if we're looking at this rectangle, we know that the perimeter of this rectangle is 18 feet. That's the total measure, right? And so what we need to find is this other side length. We know that this side is going to be 6 feet because we know opposite sides are of equal measure. So that's where we need to start. So if I know the total perimeter of this shape, if we're using like a part whole model, is 18, then I know the length of two sides, 6 plus 6 would be 12, is going to make up part of that perimeter. I need to find that missing part. So if I know the whole is 18 and part is 12, right? 6 plus 6 is 12. What would be that missing part? Well, to find the missing part, I simply have to subtract, and I would get 6. So I know that missing part is 6, but that would be two side lengths added together. So what two numbers, when added together, give me 6? 3, right? So this side length would be 3, and this side length would be 3. So let's see if that is correct now. If we add 6 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3, does that give us 18? It sure does. So our missing side length that we were looking for would be 3 feet. Let's look at another one.